Hello, my name is Bill, and welcome back to another edition of Billboard Comics, and another edition of Guiding Lines. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our weekly guide to what's coming up in next Wednesday's new releases. This is taken from the League of Comic Book Geeks website, accurate as of May 21st, for the new releases for May 28th. Of course, there might be some changes along the way because of the vagaries of the whole distribution system as we know it. And so take these with a grain of salt. First of all, I'd like to give you a little, I'm battling a cold, so if I sound stuffed up or anything like that, or start sniffling, now you know why. It's not because, for any other reason. And also, if you like these kind of things, if you come back every week for this, you appreciate the heads up on the new releases, please like these videos and subscribe to these videos. These hit about every Friday morning, and they should be here on by Friday morning when you get up. But in case you don't know, you can't keep your schedules down or whatever, I know I can't, hit the subscribe so you'll be reminded when it comes up. Without any further ado, let me get into the big book of the week. My opinion, the big book of the week this week is Giant Size X-Men #1, and no pun intended. Giant Size is big, but I do think this is the biggest book coming out this week. Of course, if your miles may vary, you might think there's something else that should have been here. Please put it in the comments and let me know, and I will try to adjust my viewpoint in the future. However, this is going to be not a reprint, not a facsimile of the classic story from the 70s, but a new interpretation of it. They're doing a series of 5 one-shots where they're setting Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, back in time at various points in the X-Men's history, vital points in the X-Men history, and having her go back and see what's going on and trying to preserve the timeline and all that kind of stuff like that. This will cost you $4.99. That's 48 pages. There'll be 2 stories in this. And like I said, it's the first one-shot of a series of 5 one-shots. Story number 1 will be by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly on writing, and Adam Kubert doing the artwork. Classic X-Men artist right there. Colors will be by Frank Martin, and the cover will be by Kubert with colors by Laura Martin. I don't know if there's any kind of familiar connection between Frank Martin and Laura Martin other than them being colorists. If you know, again, put it in the comments. Story 2 will be by Al Ewing with art by Sarah Pacelli and colors by Federico Blee. The first story will be the main story, which sends Kamala Khan back in the past, and the second one promises to introduce a X-Men that never was. What that means exactly, I do not know. It might be a new character. It might be an old character who is retroactively going to be put on the X-Men. It'll be interesting to see. For this, I am of 2 minds of this thing. I really like the Kamala Khan character in Miss Marvel. I think she's one of the better comic book characters created in the last half century or quarter century. She is very interesting from her background and from her differences and stuff like that. So I'm a fan of the character. However, I'm not a fan of the plotline because there's like maybe 3 major ways this could go. 1, she goes back in the past, changes it, and we have a whole new reality, and it's a whole new reboot for the Marvel Universe. That seems to be a lot of work, and at the very least, the X-Men universe, that seems to be a whole lot of work, especially when they started with a whole bunch, like less than a year ago, a whole bunch of #1s for the main series. Number 2, she's going to go back and make changes, and it's going to be shuttled off to an alternate reality, which might mean books set in that alternate reality, which will cause confusion and more strain on X-Men fans' wallet books and pocketbooks. Pocketbooks, wallet books. What are those? I have no idea. I'm sorry. Like I said, I have a little bit of a cold. You have to bear with me. So I'm not really a big fan of that. And also, it could also mean that she's going to go back and look at stuff and not change anything, and take efforts to not change anything, which seems like a plot line that I'm not interested in. But I give it I have it on my pull list. So I'll give it a benefit of the doubt and give it a shot and see how it is. The project is going to be supported by 4 open order variants with some of the biggest names in comic books. First variant will be by Art Adams. Second by Greg Capullo. Third by Ivan Talavera. Fourth will be a Luciano Vecchio spoiler version variant. not a spoiler variant, and a Todd Knock Iconic variant. There will also be 2 incentives. There'll be a 1 in 25 featuring Lucas Wernick, and the Ivan Talaveria gets a 1 in 100 Virgin variant. Next up, new issues. And just let you all get a little bit of housekeeping here. There is you might follow along on the League of Comic Geeks website, you might see a new Venom Original Sin #1 out there, and you might wonder why I'm not covering here, which I'm not. Basically, that's a collection of previously ran stories that appeared online on the Metamorpho Unlimited exclusives. So they collect them after they're done and put them on the newsstand so you could buy them. These are, I consider as being reprints, and I usually don't cover or give much page space or video time for reprints. So that's why they're not on here. So if you ever see something that it looks interesting that I didn't cover, it's not that I'm having any kind of bias against it, other than it is a reprint of something that has already been published, either on electronic digital form or in paper form. Saying that, we have one from Marvel and Disney, What If? Donald Duck became Iron Man. It's $4.99 for 32 pages, and it's going to be a one-shot. This is part of, I guess, a outgrowth of the variant covers they had, which features a bunch of the Disney characters replacing Marvel characters on iconic Marvel covers, and they went another step by actually replacing them in the storyline. I believe the storyline here deals with Donald being forced to make some kind of scenery for the Beagle Boys, and instead makes a suit of armor for himself to fight the Beagle Boys. The artwork is by Steve Bain and Luca Barbieri. This leads me to believe that this is an adaptation of an Italian story. Art and cover will be by Donald Sofriti. This is also supported by a whole bunch of variant covers by a lot of top name comic book creators. I'm impressed by it. There'll be 4 open order variants. First one will be by Dan Panosian. Second one will be by Mark Brooks. Third by Phil Noto. And the 4th one will be by Scotty Young. My advice to Marvel, have Scotty Young do a Disney book. I think that would be like printing money. I know I'd buy it. I'm sure he's got a great fan base, and I'm sure they'd love to see his take on it. There will also be one incentive. It's going to be a 1 in 100 version of the Phil Noto variant, only this time in a Virgin. Next up, we're moving on to IDW for their new issues. It looks like they have a one-shot tying into their Star Trek universe. Star Trek Lore Wars Shaq's Worst Day. It'll be $5.99 for 48 pages, and it's going to be a one-shot. It'll be written by Ryan North, artwork by Derek Charm, and the cover will be by Derek Charm as well. This appears to be a Klingon version who's forced to become a fascist in Lore's new reality. He finally bricked himself from that reality, and now he wants to set things right. I'm sure that a lot of people out there don't understand anything about that. I barely understand it, but if you're in on the Star Trek thing, you probably know exactly what's going on here. There will be one open order variant, cover B by Bobby Ollard, and one incentive, a cover C by 1 in 10 by Raza. They're also putting out a Pride issue tying into Monster High. Be Monster High Pride 2025 #1. This will be a $3.99 book for 48 pages, and it'll be a one-shot. It'll be written by, looks like there's 2 stories in the book. One will be written by Megan Brown, the other one by Jack Aye. Art will be by Siobhan Keenan on one and Bowen McCurdy on the other. And the cover will be by Camilla Fortuna. There will be 2 other covers for this. A cover B by Bowen McCurdy, and a cover C, which will be the Camilla Fortuna cover, but in a foil version. Image has a couple of new #1s here, and once again, they also have one that's, I think, tied in Deaded Class, but it's more a reprint, so I didn't cover it here, just so you know. Mommy Blog #1. It'll be $5.99 for 48 pages, and it's going to be a one-shot. I believe this is kind of like a standalone graphic novel. It's going to be written by Marguerite Bennett, art by Eleonora Carlini, and the cover will be Carlini as well. I believe this is a horror-themed one involving a mommy blogger. You can imagine the kind of horrors that could create. The other number one from Image Comics this week is Dark Honor. $3.99 for 32 pages, and it's going to be the first of a 5-issue miniseries. It tells the tale of a taking place during the COVID-19 breakout of 2020, where the underworld is having some turmoil, and one of the enforcers has to reestablish balance and control. It's going to be written by Ethan Sachs, K.S. Bruce, and Brian D. Kubelis. 3 writers to make this. Art will be by Fiko Oso, and Oso will also be doing the cover. There'll be one other cover, a 1 in 10 Fiko Oso black and white variant. Next up is a one from a company called Rekka Comics, and the title will be "The Future is number 1." I believe that was supposed to be a word "eft." I believe would be the term there. You could probably put your own expletive whenever you want to, and probably, if it makes you feel good. It will be $13.37 for 104 pages, and it's going to be one shot. It's going to be a graphic novel, in other words. It's be written by Fred Van Lente, really good writer. Art by Ennio Buffi. Colors by Andrea Maloney. Letters by Taylor Esposito. And the cover will be by Jay Lee on artwork and Jun Chung on colors. Next up is one from a company I'm not really familiar with called Bad Bug Media. It's going to be Jabberjaw number 4. It's going to be $15. I believe it's going to be a graphic novel. It's written by Garrett Gunn. Art by Daniel Engordo Mendoza. Colors by Nelson Redula Jr. Letters by Dave Lentz. And the cover will be by Brian Balondo, Balondo. Colors by Fibri Veridian. This $15 book, it has 27 alternate covers. Let me just talk about this alternate covers thing here. I don't know how a company I've never heard of could afford to have 27 covers printed. Granted, they're only about like 4 or 5 different artists. So, and a lot of them are, the biggest name is Ryan Kincaid from there that you might know of. You might know of other ones, but I haven't heard of them. I expect to make a profit. Granted, a lot of these covers are the pornographic version, if you will. It comes in mild, hot, and hotter version. Mild version is basically your typical cheesecake cover with everything on the woman's clothed and covered up. Hot will be topless, so you'll be able to see boobies. And the hotter will be full nude, so you'll be able to see that vagina that has been escaping you seeing for such a long time. Personally, I'm not a big fan. It doesn't really do anything for me. Like seeing cartoon drawings of naked women doesn't really do anything because, let's be honest, porn is so readily available on the internet if you know where to look that you can see a real live actual human being or a AI version of one nude anytime you want, whenever you want. So if you can see the real thing, why would you pay $15 or probably even more because it's an alternate cover for this? If you do, like, I'm not coming down on you. That's your prerogative. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand that whole thing. And this is not going to be the first one that has a whole bunch of naughty covers on the list this week. Spoiler warning. There's no one coming on later, but I just don't know what's going on with that. Let's go through this. We have a Bill McKay Hot Virgin cover. Probably not a virgin after been on. Well, never mind. Just cut that out. I didn't say anything. Bill McKay is also going to do a mild version of that. It's this is going to be one by Caleb Alley. Then Javicus has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 different variants that they are doing. He or she is doing. Instead of like saying Javicus again and again and again, because that'll probably drive me nuts, and I can imagine what it's going to do to you, I'll just run down the various variant covers he's going to do, and we could agree that be acceptable, right? Right? All right, so Javicus is doing a hot version, a hotter version, a mild. Swamp Green hot metal version. Swamp Green hot wood version. Covers will be made out of wood. This is what we come to. Isn't all covers made out of wood? Isn't paper just a version of wood, like kind of watered down and pulped and... But I digress. Swamp Green hotter metal version. Swamp Green hotter wood version. Swamp Green mild metal version. Swamp Green mild wood version. A wood hot version. A wood hotter version. A wood mild version. And that's offhand. There you have Jeff Melth has two, hot version and a mild version. Then we have two from Raven Monroe, a hot version and a mild version. Then we have Ryan Kincaid, which has a hot version and a mild version, sense of theme. Scott Prather also has a mild and hot version. The hot version. Then we're going to get Suspiria Vilches has a mild and a hot version. And Zach Raw has a mild and a hot version. So, Lord knows how much those guys produce, and hopefully to get it back. Who knows? They might sell out everywhere they go, and they might be selling on the secondary market for thousands of dollars within a week of me saying this. However, I just don't get it. Next up, Cosmic Lion, which has a new number one, Bone Crusher number one. It's cost you $7 for 64 pages, and it's going to be a 2-issue miniseries. It's going to be written by Erwin Pope, and art by and written by Raymar Brunson. And Raymar Brunson is also doing the artwork on it. He's also doing the cover for it too, as well. There's no alternate covers for that one. Now coming to DC Comics, which obviously is putting out a series to tie in with the Superman movie, hoping that the success of the movie will help bring people into comic book stores and want to find out more about one of the characters of the movie. This is Mr. Terrific, Year 1, number 1. This is going to be retelling his origin in a new miniseries. It's going to be a 6-issue miniseries, $3.99 for 32 pages. It's going to be written by Al Letson, artwork by Valentine DeLandro and Edwin Gallman. Colors will be by Marissa Louise. Letters by Lucas Gattoni. And the cover will be by Valentine DeLandro on art and Marissa Louise on colors. There will be 2 open order variants for this title. Cover B by Mitch Gerads and cover C by Evan Doc Shaner. There will be 1 incentive cover. Cover D, 1 in 25 by Dennis Cohen. Legendary creator, very great artist. Dynamite has a new number 1 out, and some might would have expected this to be the big book of the week. However, it's Gargoyles Demona number 1. Gargoyles hit after my cartoon watching era ended, so I wasn't really up on it and stuff like this. So I didn't want to actually come in here and give you a whole backstory and stuff I don't really know except for just reading Wikipedia. So that is why it's here. And also, Dynamite is kind of iffy about delivering the comic books when it's supposed to be. I think it was originally supposed to come out on the 14th, and I think it was bumped back a couple weeks because of the whole shenanigans with the Diamond. It's $4.99 for 32 pages, and it appears to be an ongoing. I couldn't really tell on the solicitations about it, but don't be surprised if it ends, I guess. It'll be written by Gargoyles creator, the animator who is responsible for making Gargoyles, Greg Weisman. Art by Frank Poor. Colors by Robbie Bevard. And a cover by Megan Hetrick. It being a Dynamite book, it has 12 open order variants and 10 incentives. Cover B would be by Jay Lee. Cover C would be by Frank Poor. Cover D would be by Mark Spears. Cover E will be a Megan Hetrick foil. Cover F will be a Megan Hetrick foil virgin. Cover G will be a Mark Spears foil. Cover H will be a Mark Spears foil Virgin. Cover I will be a blank Authentics cover, so you can get your sketches on it. Cover J will be a Mark Spears Metal Virgin. Cover K will be a Mark Spears Virgin. Cover S will be a Mark Spears Black. And cover T will be a blue blank Authentics, which is the same thing as the white one, only with the blue background instead of a white blank. It'd be blue and blank. Now on to the incentives. I have cover L, which is 1 in 10 J. Lee foil. Cover M, which is 1 in 10 Frank Poor black and white. Cover N will be a 1 in 15 J. Lee foil Virgin. Cover O will be a 1 in 15 Frank Poor black and white Virgin. Cover B will be a 1 in 20 Frank Poor Virgin. Cover Q will be a 1 in 30 J. Lee Virgin. Cover R will be a 1 in 40 Megan Hedrick Virgin. Cover U will be a 1 in 7 Mark Spears black and white. Cover V will be a 1 in 10 Mark Spears black and white Virgin. And finally, cover W will be a 1 in 15 Mark Spears black Virgin. Next up, we have a new issue from Mad Cave, The Pale Knight. It is a $4.99 book for 32 pages, and it'll be the start of a 6-issue miniseries. It'll be written by Peter Milligan, one of the better writers of the British Invasion. I think he did Shade of Changing Man, one of my favorite vertical books of all time. Art will be by Val Rodriguez. Colors will be by Chris Peter. Letters will be by Dave Sharp. And the cover will be by Nick Marinkovic. It'll have one other cover, cover B by Giuseppe Camuncoli. I believe this is about a medieval kind of thing about a warrior, a knight coming back to his hometown. He says loved ones are dying, wants to make a deal with God to save them from a plague, and instead death shows up and wants to make a deal on the side to help him instead. Seems pretty interesting, and it's Peter Milligan, so it's, if you have $3.99 and it's available, and you're looking for something to read, might be worth picking up. Next up, from Massive Publishing, Detective Kaiju. Seems like you just had that like 1970s teaser tag at the end, zinger at the end. It's $4.99. It's going to be a 3-issue limited series. It'll be written by Michael Calero and with art by Kit Wallace. There'll be 4 open order variants. It will be cover B by Jake Smith, cover C by Michael Calero, cover D by John Samariva, and cover E will be a blank version that you could have people draw on it. Number 1 will be an incentive. Cover F will be a 1 in 25 by Zveta Shubina. Next up, Moonstone, A Blast from the Past. They don't know they're even still around, but they are, because they have a brand new number 1 coming out. It's called The Bystander. $3.99 for 32 pages. I'll have 2 stories in it. The first one will be by the main character. It will be written by Stephen Grant, underrated name from the world of comic books from the 70s and 80s. With artwork by Sergio Ibanez, and Ibanez will be doing the cover. The second story will be a Phantom adaptation, which is weird because I believe that Mad Cave had a Phantom book as their free comic book day offering. So I don't know if it's a case like they both have that license, kind of like Godzilla, like everybody has a license to Godzilla, it seems, or there might be some legal shenanigans going on here. But the second story is going to be a Phantom story, and it looks like it's coming out. So if it's legal, expect to hit the courts sometime soon after. Which will be the Phantom story will be written by Mike Bullock, and art will be also again by Sergio Ibanez. There will be one other cover. It's going to be a Joe Capistek EC Comics homage. Next up is Oni Press, which has a new series coming out called The Goddamn Tragedy, number 1. $6.99 for 48 pages, and it's going to be a one-shot. It'll be written by Chris Condon, art by Sean Kurman, Kurmern, Kurumern, I believe, Or no, that's you. I'm sorry. Kurumeru. It never gets easier. Letters will be by Sean Lee, and Kurumeru will be doing the cover. There'll be 4 open order variant covers, one by Tula Lote, one by Jacob Phillips, one by Jenna Cha, and the other by Oliver Dominguez. There'll be one incentive, a Jenna Cha black and white. Udon comes out with a new number 1. It's going to be based on their Mega Man character, Mega Man Timelines number 1. It's going to be a one-shot, $4.99. Be written by Travis Maiden, with art and cover by Kenny Ruiz. You'll have 2 open order variants, cover B by John Samariva, and the cover C will be blank. One incentive, a cover D by Andrew Dickman, wraparound comic book cover, and there'll be 3 retailers, 2 from Rabbit Comics, one by Hui Din and with a Mega Man cover and a Proto Man cover. And the Udon web store is going to have a variant done by Keen Biscuit. And here comes the part you've always been ready for. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, once again, for like the 2076th week in a row, Sumerian is promising us that we only go out at night, or when it gets dark, or whatever name it is. I don't care anymore because it's not going to come out. It is going to come out on Wednesday. Like I said, I'd go to Vegas if they did bets on books coming out, comic books coming out, and put all your money on no for this one, and you'd probably be very rich after Wednesday. It's been on here for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it's becoming like a running gag. So that's why I keep on mentioning it without showing anything up there, because why bother? If then I could put the effort of putting it out, why should I bother supporting it? If it does come out, and I have definite information that's coming out, I might make it the book of the week. Just throwing that out there. Okay, next up is final issues. We're going to start with Marvel. Marvel has a lot of issues closing out this week. First off will be Rogue, the Savage Land, number 5. A whole miniseries built around a sexy alternate cover for the character Rogue. It's $3.99 for 32 pages. It'll be written by Tim Seeley, art by Zulema Scotto Lavina, colors by Rachel Rosenberg, letters by Ariana Maher, and the cover will be by Carrie Andrews. There'll be 2 open order variants on this, Ario Andido and a J. Scott Campbell. And J. Scott Campbell will also give us the incentive, a 1/100 virgin cover of his open order cover. Next up, coming to an end, is Werewolf by Night number 10. This will be $4.99 for 32 pages, written by Jason Liu, art by Sergio Fernandez de Villa, cover by Eric M. Gist. There'll be one other cover, a cover by Paulo Siqueira. Cable, Love and Chrome, comes to an end with its 5th issue. It'll be $3.99 for 32 pages. It's written by David Pepose, with art by Mark Henderson, colors by Arif Prianto, letters by Joe Sabino, and a cover by Ian Churchill on art and Maury Hollowell on colors. The final Marvel book ending this week is Infinity Watch number 5. It'll be $3.99 for 32 pages. Writing by Derek Landy, art by Ruari Coleman, colors by Brian Reber, and letters by Corey Pettit. The cover will have art by Salvador Loaca, and his art will be colored by Guru EFX. There will be 2 open order variants for this series. A David Baldeon handbook variant, which is like a page out of the official handbook to the Marvel Universe, and In-Huk Lee Colleen Wing variant. There will be also an incentive of that In-Huk Lee variant, only in a virgin. It's I forgot to write down the thing. Like might be 1 in 25, 1 in 100. I don't know. Next up, DC is bringing a close to Metamorpho, the Element Man, with number 6. This is kind of a surprise cancellation. People on the League of Comics were expecting this to be a ongoing series, and at least until the Superman movie comes out, where Metamorpho is featured. But apparently, DC did not like the sales it was getting, so it ends with its sixth issue. $3.99 for 32 pages, written by Al Ewing, art by Steve Lieber, colors by Lee Lowridge, and the cover will be by Lieber and Lowridge. There'll be one other cover, a Raphael Delaterre variant. Next up, Dark Horse has two issues coming to a close this week. The one is the tie into the Critical Role phenomenon. Critical Role, Vox Machina, Origin, 4, number 6. $3.99 for 32 pages. It was written by Jody Hauser, art by Noah Haynes, colors by Diane Souza, letters by Ariana Maher, and the cover will be by Joe Mi Jivong. And the second one will be Barstow number 4, $4.99 for 32 pages. It was written by David, Ian, and Rebecca McKendry. Two people, maybe married, maybe brother and sister, maybe not related at all, but I doubt it. Art by Tyler Jenkins. Letter by Justin Birch, and the cover will be by Tyler Jenkins. Mad Cave has a series ending, Kill Train number 5, $4.99 for 32 pages. It was written by Olivia Cortero Briggs, art by Martin Niosi, and a cover by Skylar Patridge. Keenspot has a series coming to close next week I should say. Slaughter Otter number 3. Slaughter Otter, ask for it by name. $5.99. Written by Matt Fife, art by Matt Rogers, and Matt Rogers is doing the cover. All Matt, all the time. There will be 4 other covers. Cover B by Jay Hammond. Cover C by Troy Dongera. Cover D by Matt Rogers, foil. Cover E be Matt Rogers foil. Scratch that. Matt Rogers fight poster. Looks like a old time advertisement for a fighting match. If you know it, you know it. Only Press is bringing to close Rick and Morty Rickomania with its 4th issue. This is supposed to be a miniseries based on where Rick and Morty enter the wrestling world of professional wrestling. It'll be $4.99 with writing and art by Mark Ellaby, colors by Meg Casey, and letters by Crank. The cover will be by Ellaby. We'll have one open order variant, cover B by Fred Stessing, and an incentive, a cover C 1 and 10 by Jarrett Williams, and it's going to be connecting. It's probably connects with all the other covers throughout the whole series. Ahoy Comics has Hall coming to end with number 5, $3.99. It's written by Elisa Coitney. She was an editor at Vertigo, so she's a pretty good writer. I wish I knew this because I would have picked this up, but not it's late. But maybe if they do a great paperback, I'll try to look out for it. Art will be Alain Marasset, and Marasset will be doing the cover. Critical Entertainment has a final issue coming out. It is Planetary Expansion number 6, $4.99 for 36 pages. It's written by Christopher Reba, art by Alonso Molina Gonzalez, and the cover will be by Paulo Rivera. Colors be by Paulo Rivera, and also by Juan Pablo Montenegro. 2 different colorists on this. I don't know if one couldn't do it and the other one had to do it, or they're doing a different coloring style. But there's 2 colors on this. No matter what, I forget about the first one I said. And the letters will be by Travis Lanham. First Comics, the last one that passed, which I think came back to do certain old properties from the classic First Comics line. This one is going to be Badger, Mad Monkey Shock and Roll number 5. It's going to be the final issue. It's written by Mike Barron, as all Badgers or stories are usually written by. Art by Val Marek. Um, Colors by Wes Wong, and the cover will be by John McRae. The final last issue will be by Uncivilized Books. It'll be the Sixth Sickness, number 8. $6.99 it'll cost you. It's written by Connie Nadler and Jenna Cha, with Cha doing artwork and a cover for it. There'll be one other cover, a cover B. It doesn't specify if it's a open order or a incentive or who the artist is. I imagine it's going to be Cha as well. So there you go. That was one I picked up. I haven't got a chance to read it yet. I'm going to read it all in one setting. Next up, after a week of being away, issues of note.
This looks interesting.
Broadsword Comics is coming out with an issue of note. It's going to be Tarot, Witch of the Black Rose, number 145. This is Jim Ballin's vanity project. And the reason I'm doing on here is first of all, it's going to cost you $4.99 for 37 pages, and it's ongoing. Written art and cover by Bayland. This is the 25th anniversary of the character and the concept. It's let me just put it this way. If you're not familiar with it, about 20 years ago they had a storyline where a woman got haunted implants from different people, like different people got different implants from the same woman, and they're haunted. Like somebody's got an eye transplant, and they're haunted by this person's ghost and whatnot. One person got a vagina transplant, and it came up with the legendary line that Chris Sims, I believe, on his blog, kept on bringing out because it was so darn funny. Your vagina is haunted! Sorry if you're underage and this is shocking to you, but this is the kind of book that it is. Just like that. And much like the Jabbered Jaw, there's a lot of variant covers, 19 of them, and a lot of them are of the prurient nature. So if you're like your comic book characters to be stark naked, or at least topless, you have 2 different options available. This one's a little bit cheaper. But let me run down this. There's going to be a cover B, Jim Ballant Skyclad, and Skyclad is code for topless or nude or semi-nude. Get it? Skyclad, wearing nothing but sky. I thought this was kind of witty, but your mileage may vary. And it's just a regular version of the Skyclad, this particular Skyclad cover by Ballant. Holly Golightly will have 3 variants. Beltane Bash Skyclad, and a Beltane Bash Skyclad regular. No Skyclad, I mean like not that. And also a Tarot Unmasked variant. And the rest are all Jim Ballant. So I'm just going to run down and hope you can keep track. Wish me luck. I think I need a drink after this. I think I'm going to make myself a stiff one. Not that you need to know that. Get your mind out of the gutter. He's going to have an American Vampire variant, an American Werecat variant, a Black Rose Sword Maiden variant, Black Rose Dark Witch Skyclad Metal variant, a Black Rose Dark Witch Skyclad variant, a Black Rose Dark Witch variant, a Black Rose Sword Maiden Skyclad Metal variant, a Black Rose Sword Maiden Skyclad variant, Retro Edition number 1 Skyclad, Retro Edition number 1 with their clothes on, Retro Edition number 2 Skyclad, Retro Edition number 2 with their clothes on, and another different variant from the first 2 I mentioned, one Skyclad and one Studio Classic variant. Whew! He's been around for 25 years, so he must be selling these stuff, so maybe the publishers at Jabberjaws is taking their cue from here, but there you go. All the tarot nudity goodness you could possibly want, and other characters apparently too. Another issue. We have a couple issue notes from DC. Actually, we have one from DC. It's going to be Absolute Wonder Woman number 8, $4.99 for 32 pages, and it's an ongoing series. Written by Kelly Thompson, art and cover by Hayden Sherman, and the colors will be by Jordi Belair. This is going to be a new arc. kind of a follow up to her introductory art to see how she survives negotiating like in the man's world. Um, I'm sure if you've seen a Wonder Woman comic book in any time in your past history, you understand there might be some issues with like how the world treats a superpowered woman. But this is like one of the better absolute comic books from DC. I think it's second only to Batman, Absolute Batman, and although Absolute Superman's coming up pretty close on this, three very strong issues. But this is a very good writing. I like it all the way through, and I can't wait to see. I might sound dismissively saying like, but her dealing with the real world, which is a trope of Wonder Woman. That's the reason why I might sound dismissive of it, but I can't wait to see what Kelly Thompson brings to it. There'll be two open order variants for this. Cover B by Stephanie Hans and Cover C by Stanford Green. There'll be two incentive ones. Cover D, a 1 in 25 by Meredith McLaren, and a Cover E, a 1 in 50 by Stephanie Hans, and that's going to be the Virgin version of her open order cover. Image Comics has two new issues of note, both tying into their Energon universe. First one will be Void Rivals, number 19, $3.99 for 32 pages. It's an ongoing series. Written by Robert Kirkman, art by Connor Hughes, colors by Patricia Delpeche, and letters by Russ Houghton. Cover will be by Lorenzo De Felici. It's going to be a standalone book featuring Skuxoid, the character Skuxoid, but it'll also be known for introducing Rekgar and the Junkians into the continuity. If you don't know who they are, let me give you a hint. This crosses over to Transformers and the G.I. Joe universe, and Rekgar and Junkians should give you some indication about which of those two franchises the characters come from. There'll be two open order covers, cover B by Connor Hughes and cover C that's blank. There'll be four incentive covers. Cover C, a 1 in 10 by Martin Morazzo. It's going to be a connecting cover. Cover D is a 1 in 25 by Eric Canete. Cover E be a 1 in 50 by Patricia Martin Samaniego. And cover F be a 1 in 100 by E.J. Sue. And another Energon book, G.I. Joe number 7, will have a standalone issue with it. Be $3.99 for 32 pages, ongoing. Written by Joshua Williamson. Art by Andrea Milana. Colors by Lee Lowrich. And letters by Russ Houghton. The cover will be by Tom Riley. This is a one-shot standalone issue that will introduce the popular G.I. Joe character Beachhead in the continuity. There'll be three open order variants. Cover B by K.L. New. Cover G will be blank. And cover H will be Andrea Milana Beachhead Mask Wraparound Die Cut Foil. It's one with his face is on the half of the thing, and I guess you can cut out and make a mask out of it if you want to destroy your comic books in such a way. There will also be four incentive covers. A cover C, 1 in 10, Alan Qua, connecting. Cover D, a 1 in 25, Jeffrey Spikes version. Cover E, 1 in 50, Homer variant. And cover F, a 1 in 100, Derek Chu foil. There'll be two retail exclusives for this, both for 616 Comics, both drawn by Ivan Talavera. And there will be connecting with other covers that I guess Talavera did for them. It'll be a foil version and a virgin. Next up, our final category, facsimiles. Alright, DC has one out. It's going to be all new collector's edition number C58. It's one of those oversized ones they have. They're going to have just a regular facsimile and also a foil variant of it. I believe it's Superman and Shazam on the front cover, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't know. I forgot to write it down. And Marvel is coming out with a facsimile of X-Men 135. I think they've been like slowly doing the entire Dark Phoenix run in facsimile form, and this week is no different. You'll have a regular facsimile and also a 1 in 25 variant cover by Nicoletta Baldari. And that is the Guiding Lions rundown for the week of May 28th. What did you think? Are you looking for any of these titles in particular? Are you upset by any particular name I screwed up? That should be a recurring feature of this thing, and the comments will be filled with it every week. But nobody comments, so it is what it is. But if you do want to comment like, what are you getting? Did I miss anything? Was there something that you included? Do you have inside information that when these books are not coming out? Do you have inside information that a book that was not on the League of Comic Geeks website is coming out, but it was listed as being coming out? Leave it in the comments, and also like, subscribe, share, and all that jazz. You know how it works. So that's all for right now, and until I see you again, keep on collecting.